what makes lyrics cheesy? I think this is an important thing to think about because we all, hopefully, want to avoid cheesy, corny lyrics. And in order to avoid cheesy, corny lyrics, we kind of have to know what makes them cheesy to begin with. Let's talk about it. So one thing that seems to create cheesy lyrics is just being too much, or overdone, or the overuse of hyperbole. Whether it's that you have this one symbol in your song that really isn't that good to begin with, but you keep doubling down on it, like, ooh, look, isn't this brilliant? Isn't this brilliant? And everybody's like, no, it was just kind of mid the first time, and your whole song is around that idea. Like, ooh, espresso, isn't that such a clever thing to compare this to? No. But you're gonna write a whole song around like, ooh, isn't this so cool? No, it's not. It was pedestrian to begin with, and the fact that you're obsessing over it like you think it's brilliant just makes it more cringe and overdone. Or another way to look at this is taking hyperbole to the point of cringe. I would compare this to humor. The most funny jokes use some hyperbole, but not too much hyperbole. If there's so much hyperbole that you're basically just straw-manning whatever the other side is, then usually it's not funny. You're just lying. You're just saying something that's not true. Comedy almost always must be based on truth. And finding that fine line between hyperbolic enough to be funny, but not so hyperbolic that everybody's like, no, you're just lying. You're just saying stuff that isn't even true. It doesn't resonate. It's not funny because it doesn't ring true at all. And we need to find a similar line when it comes to music. If you do too much with the hyperbole, then it comes across disingenuous and overdone. Like nobody really feels that way. Instead, yeah, it may make sense to use hyperbole. So one example of this would be Sugar by Maroon 5. It says, I'm hurtin' baby, I'm broken down. I need your lovin', I need it now. When I'm without you, I'm something weak. You got me begging, I'm on my knees. So first of all, very cookie cutter and cringe for reasons that we've laid out before. But also, this is something that simply is just overdone. It's so pathetic. It's all about like being on your knees and like, oh please, please just pay me some attention. And it just comes across really cringe and pathetic and just not realistic. Really? Are people ever that desperate that they're like on their knees like, yes, please love me? And if so, if you were watching a movie that portrayed that, you almost certainly would be like, I did sympathize with that character, but now I'm like, ugh, I hope she does break up with him. And maybe my favorite example of this, which is probably my favorite because I really like going back and making fun of the really terrible songs that were really popular when I was in high school, is Grenade by Bruno Mars. The chorus says, I'd catch a grenade for ya. Throw my hand on a blade for ya. I'd jump in front of a train for ya. You know I'd do anything for ya. Oh, oh, I would go through all this pain, take a bullet straight through my brain. Yes, I'd die for you, baby, but you won't do the same. So as you probably can tell, this is the textbook definition of too much. I mean, holy hyperbole. Literally says, I'd catch a grenade, I'd jump in front of a train, I'd put my hand on a blade, I'd just take a bullet through my brain, and you won't do the same. Why? Because she's not insane. Because only an insane person would do any of those things. Why would you jump in front of a train for, what are you even trying to say? Jump in front of a train to rescue her? Like, that's admirable at least, but why would you ever need to jump in front of a train to rescue her? Or put your hand on a blade to rescue her? Or catch a grenade? Like, what is all this? It's like you took everything to the most dramatic end you could, and it really just comes across as pathetic and cringe. So, probably avoid this. One great way to avoid this is to not set yourself up for failure when it comes to lyric writing, and a great way to do that is to grab my 6-step lyric writing checklist. It breaks lyric writing down into 6 smaller baby steps that are way easier than just sitting down and demanding yourself improvise brilliant poetry, because most people can't do that. And even the people who can do that probably shouldn't do that most of the time, because writing, like everything else, has a process. And this process has some steps before you actually write the lyrics themselves, and there are steps after the process of writing the lyrics. Because with all writing of words, you want to have a form of editing process as well. Authors never just write a first draft of the book and send it out that way. It has drafts. They edit. They think about the wording more than just whatever they came up with the first time. So be sure to grab that, my free gift to you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Talk to you in the next one.